Captain Alex Wright stood at the viewport of the Earth Alliance vessel Horizon watching the massive conclave station grow larger against the backdrop of stars. His heart beat faster. This was humanity's big moment. Their first official contact with the Galactic Conclave, a powerful group of 7 advanced alien species that controlled most of the known galaxy. "Are you nervous?" Dr. Olivia Martinez asked, joining him at the window. Her dark eyes studied the station with scientific curiosity. "A little," Alex admitted. "Wouldn't you be? We've spent 50 years developing faster-than-light travel, colonized 6 star systems, and finally earned this meeting. Everything we do today matters." Jack Peterson, the delegation's chief diplomat, straightened his formal uniform jacket. "Remember the plan. We're here to observe, learn, and request basic recognition. Nothing more." The Horizon docked with a gentle bump. Alex led his team of 12 through the airlock and into a world of strange sights, sounds, and smells. Aliens of different shapes and sizes moved through the grand arrival hall. Some floated, some crawled, others walked on various numbers of legs. A tall, blue-skinned being with 4 arms approached them. "I am Zeph of the Tellurians. I will escort you to the conclave chamber." The humans followed Zeph through wide corridors. Many aliens stopped to stare at them. Some pointed and made sounds that might have been whispers or laughter. "Is there a problem?" Jack asked their guide. "You are the first humans most have seen," Zeph replied. "Your appearance is unusual to many." The conclave chamber was a vast dome, with 7 raised platforms arranged in a circle. Each platform held representatives of a different alien species. In the center was a small standing area where the humans were directed to wait. The conclave leader, a spiny, insect-like creature called an acridian, rose from the highest platform. "I am Kizrak, High Speaker of the Conclave. State your purpose, Earth beings." Alex stepped forward. "High Speaker, I am Captain Alex Wright of Earth. We come seeking peaceful relations and observer status within the Galactic Conclave." A strange clicking sound came from Kizrak, which the translator rendered as laughter. "Observer status. For primitive mammals who have barely left their home system." "With respect," Jack said, stepping forward, "we have established colonies on 6 worlds and developed independent faster-than-light travel." "Copied from wreckage you found." "No doubt," said another acridian. Olivia frowned. "We developed it ourselves over 5 decades of research." Kizrak's compound eyes gleamed. "Your species is barely 10,000 years into civilization. The youngest conclave member has had faster-than-light travel for 50,000 years. Your biological design is inefficient. Your history is filled with violence. You have nothing to offer the conclave." "We bring new perspectives," Alex argued. "Humans are adaptable, creative." "You are dangerous," Kizrak interrupted. "Your kind spread like a disease. You consume resources at an alarming rate. The Conclave has studied your broadcasts for centuries. We know what humans are." Alex noticed one of the other aliens, a crystalline being, lean toward its neighbor. "The human makes valid points," it said quietly. "Perhaps limited trade." "Silence, Marikai delegate," Kizrak snapped. "The decision is made." Kizrak turned back to the humans. "The Conclave denies your request for observer status. You are ordered to remain in your current territory. Expand no further. Send no more ships to Conclave space. This meeting is over." "You can't just dismiss us," Olivia protested. "We've come in peace. We deserve." "You deserve nothing," Kizrak said. "You are barely sentient by our standards. Return to your ship immediately." As guards moved to escort them out, Alex noticed several delegates from other species watching with what seemed like discomfort or disagreement. Back aboard the Horizon Jack slammed his fist against the wall. "Centuries of progress, and they treat us like animals." Alex looked out at the Conclave station as their ship pulled away. "They made a mistake today," he said quietly. "They think they know humans from our broadcasts and history. But they missed something important. What's that? Olivia asked. Humans never give up, Alex said. And we don't take kindly to being underestimated. If the Conclave won't recognize us, we'll make it impossible for them to ignore us. The news of the Conclave's rejection spread quickly across Earth and its colonies. In the United Earth headquarters in Geneva, Director Samantha Bell paced the length of the conference room. The screens on the wall showed angry protests in major cities across 6 worlds. People demanded action. Some called for war. We can't fight the Conclave, Samantha said to the room of officials. Their technology is too advanced, but we won't just accept their judgment either. She pressed a button on the table. A hologram appeared showing the faces of the rejection team. Captain Alex Wright, Dr. Olivia Martinez, and Jack Peterson. Tell us exactly what you saw, Samantha asked. Alex described the meeting in detail. The Acridians control the Conclave, but they don't speak for everyone. I saw doubt in some of the other species. So we have potential allies, said Commander Eric Daniels, the highest-ranking military officer present. His face remained calm, but his fingers tapped against the table. Possibly, Jack agreed. The Tellurians seemed curious about us. And the crystalline beings, the Marikai, tried to speak in our favor. Lisa Howard, the top AI specialist on Earth, stood up. Director Bell, we don't need to match their weapons. We need to understand them better than they understand us. Exactly, Samantha nodded. That's why I've called you all here. As of today, you're part of the Human Recognition Initiative. Our mission is not revenge, but recognition. We'll prove our worth to the galaxy. Kevin Morgan, a cultural anthropologist who had studied the limited alien broadcasts humans had intercepted, raised his hand. The Conclave species each value different things. The Acridians respect power and age. The Tellurians value art and beauty. The Marikai prize knowledge above all. Then we'll speak to each in their own language, Samantha said. Not with words, but with actions they can't ignore. The meeting continued late into the night. They developed Project Mirror, a plan to study each Conclave species in detail. What were their strengths, their weaknesses, their fears, their hopes? We won't attack them, Samantha insisted. We'll understand them. Then we'll show them who humans really are. 3 weeks later, reports came in from the colony worlds at the edge of human space. Strange ships had been spotted. Eric showed the group grainy images of spiny vessels. Acridians, he confirmed. They're setting up outposts just beyond our territory. They don't respect our boundaries. Are they preparing to attack? Someone asked. I don't think so, Eric said. They're studying us, like we're some kind of lab experiment. The room grew quiet. Then Lisa spoke up. Let them watch, she said. What they'll see is humans at our best. We'll accelerate the development of our 4 newest colony worlds. We'll show them how quickly we adapt and build. And we'll send research ships to the edges of Conclave space, Alex added. Not warships, science vessels. The Acridians expect us to react with anger or fear, Olivia said. Let's surprise them with curiosity instead. Samantha nodded. Kevin, I want you to form teams to study each Conclave species. Lisa, accelerate Project Mirror. Eric, prepare defensive measures for our colonies, but keep them subtle. She walked to the window, looking up at the stars. The Conclave has existed for thousands of years. They've forgotten how to change, how to grow. But that's what humans do best. She turned back to the room. They think we're primitive. We'll show them what primitive humans can accomplish when challenged. In the following days, Earth buzzed with activity. Research ships prepared for deep space missions. New defense systems were installed around colonies. Teams studied alien languages and customs. And on the edge of human space, the science vessel Curiosity under Captain Amy Nelson prepared to venture into uncharted territory, carrying not weapons, but questions. Captain Amy Nelson stood on the bridge of the science vessel Curiosity, watching the stars streak by. Her ship had been exploring the edges of known space for 3 weeks, mapping new areas and collecting data on the Conclave's activities. "Captain, I'm picking up a distress signal," said the communications officer. "It's not in any human language." Amy leaned forward. "Can we translate it?" "Working on it now. It's coming from that small moon ahead." Amy ordered the ship to slow down. "Approach with caution. Shields up, but weapons offline. We're here to help, not fight." The Curiosity moved closer to the moon. In orbit was a damaged ship, its hull cracked and leaking a strange green gas. "Life signs?" Amy asked. "Yes, multiple. The ship's design doesn't match any known Conclave vessel." Amy made her decision. "Send a message in all languages we know. Tell them we're responding to their distress call and offering help." After a tense wait, they received a reply in broken human English. "Help. Accepted. We. Voxery." Chief Engineer Paul Johnson led the rescue team. They docked with the alien ship and found 6 insect-like beings struggling to repair their engines. The Voxery had 4 arms, large compound eyes, and bodies covered in a hard, shiny shell. Paul approached slowly, hands raised to show he was unarmed. "I'm here to help," he said clearly. The largest Voxery stepped forward. "You? Humans. Conclaves say humans dangerous." "We're not dangerous unless threatened," Paul replied. "We heard your distress call and came to help. That's what humans do." The Voxery looked at each other, clicking their mandibles in what seemed like surprise. "Conclave reject Voxery too," the leader said. "Say we. Evolutionarily stagnant. Not worthy." Paul nodded. "They rejected us too. Called us primitive mammals." He looked at the damaged engine. "I think we can fix this. Will you let us try?" For 3 days, human engineers worked alongside the Voxery to repair their ship. They shared meals, traded stories, and slowly built trust. The Voxery were excellent mathematicians, but had little creativity when solving new problems. The humans showed them innovative ways to repair systems that the Voxery had thought beyond saving. On the final day, the Voxery leader, who called himself Zik, invited Amy and Paul to a private meeting. Humans help Voxery. Now Voxery help humans. Zik placed a crystal on the table between them. "This hold information about Conclave. Secret things." Amy looked at the crystal. "Why would you share this with us?" "Conclave not united as they claim," Zik explained. "Many species disagree with Acridians but fear them. Acridians control powerful weapons, suppress other species." Paul picked up the crystal carefully. "This could be valuable information for Earth." Zik nodded. "More important thing. We know place, ancient archive." "From precursors." "Precursors?" Amy asked. "Species that came before. All Conclave worship them. Archive has technology Conclave hide. Acridians not want anyone find it." Amy leaned forward. "And you're telling us where it is?" Zik's compound eyes gleamed. "Precursor writings say adaptive species would come. Species that change, grow quickly. We think humans." Back on the Curiosity *, Amy sent an encrypted message to Earth with the coordinates of the archive and all they had learned from the Voxery. "Do you trust them?" Paul asked as they watched the Voxery ship depart. "I don't know," Amy admitted, "but they were rejected just like us. Sometimes the outcasts have to stick together." The Curiosity changed course toward Earth, carrying precious information and a new alliance. Unknown to them, an Acridian patrol ship watched from the shadow of a distant asteroid, its sensors recording everything. Dr. Carl Bennett wiped dust from his glasses as he looked out at the barren surface of the moon. According to the Voxery information, this lifeless rock held secrets that could change humanity's future. "Quite a place for an archive," said Nicole Adams, the security specialist who led the 6-person protection team. Her hand rested casually on her weapon as she scanned the horizon. "The best place to hide something is where no one wants to look." Carl replied. He checked the scanner in his hand. This way. About 2 kilometers east. The team walked carefully across the rocky surface. Their boots left prints in dust that hadn't been disturbed for thousands of years. After an hour, they reached a cliff face with strange markings carved into the stone. This matches the Voxeri description, Carl said excitedly. Help me find the entrance mechanism. The team spread out, examining the wall. A young scientist named Rita found a small depression that matched the shape of her hand. When she pressed it, the ground trembled. A doorway appeared in the solid rock. Amazing, Carl whispered. The door recognized human DNA. Nickel frowned. That's impossible. This archive is thousands of years old. How could it recognize humans? They entered cautiously. Lights came on automatically, revealing a vast chamber filled with crystal columns. Each column contained what looked like data storage devices. The precursors built this, Carl said in awe. The species that came before the conclave. They were said to be the most advanced beings in the galaxy before they disappeared. In the center of the room stood a pedestal with a glowing blue orb. When Carl approached, the orb projected a hologram of a tall, elegant being with 6 limbs and eyes that seemed to see through time itself. Greetings, adaptive ones. The hologram spoke in perfect English. If you are receiving this message, you have finally arrived. Nicole gasped. How is it speaking our language? The hologram continued. We, the Inori, known to later species as the precursors, have watched the patterns of evolution across the galaxy. We predicted the emergence of your kind, beings of remarkable adaptability and creativity. Carl stepped closer. You knew about humans. Thousands of years ago. We knew a species would evolve with unique mental flexibility. You change faster than any species we have studied. You learn, adapt, and overcome in ways others cannot understand or predict. The hologram gestured, and images appeared around the room. Human history from cave paintings to space travel, compressed into a brief display. The rigid ones who now control the stars fear change. They have created a society based on stagnation, not growth. They have hidden our most important discoveries and teachings. The hologram pointed to the crystal columns. Here we have left knowledge for you. Not weapons to conquer, but tools to understand. The rigid ones know of this place, but cannot enter. The door responds only to adaptive DNA. Nicole touched one of the crystal columns. It lit up, showing designs for technology far beyond human understanding. Take what you need, the hologram said. Use it wisely. You are young, but your potential exceeds even what we accomplished. Suddenly, alarms blared throughout the chamber. Nicole checked her scanner. Ships entering orbit. Acridian design. They must have followed us, one of the team members said fearfully. Nicole took charge immediately. Grab as many data crystals as you can carry. We have 10 minutes to get back to our ship. As they rushed to collect the crystals, the hologram spoke one last time. Remember, adaptive ones. The rigid fear what they cannot control. Your strength is not in power, but in change. Outside, they could see Acridian ships landing nearby. Nicole led them along a hidden path she had noted during their approach. We can't outgun them, she told Carl, but we can outthink them. Using the moon's strange magnetic fields and their smaller, more maneuverable ship, Nicole plotted an escape route the larger Acridian vessels couldn't follow. As their ship broke free of the moon's gravity, Carl held up one of the data crystals, watching it glow with ancient knowledge. They wanted us to find this, he said softly. They've been waiting for humans all along. Jack Peterson stood in the shadow of a massive tree on the neutral trading world of Corel. This small planet existed on the edges of conclave space, a place where rules were looser and different species could meet without official oversight. Are you sure they'll come? Ryan Collins asked. The young diplomat had been handpicked for this mission because of his calm nature and quick thinking. They'll come, Jack said. The Voxeri arranged everything. A soft chime from Ryan's communicator indicated an incoming message. Our friends are entering the atmosphere now. 20 minutes later, two tall blue-skinned Tellurians and a crystalline Mirakai were seated across from the humans in a private meeting room. Zik, the Voxeri leader, had made the introductions before leaving to watch for any Acridian spies. "We take great risk meeting you," said the female Tellurian, who called herself Nera. "The Acridians control the conclave through fear and technology. They would label us traitors for speaking with you." "We appreciate your courage," Jack replied. "We believe the conclave has been missiled about humans." Ryan opened a small case, revealing one of the data crystals from the precursor archive. The Mirakai, named Vesh, leaned forward with obvious interest, light reflecting off its crystalline body. "Is that precursor technology?" Vesh asked, voice filled with awe. "Yes," Ryan said, "from an archive that can only be opened by humans." He activated a small projector. Images appeared showing the precursor message about humanity's adaptive nature and the prediction of their emergence. "This cannot be real," Nora whispered. "The Acridians have studied precursor artifacts for thousands of years. They never mentioned this." "Because they couldn't access it," Jack explained, "and because it challenges their control of the conclave." While the others talked, Diane Miller, a communications specialist, quietly played human music in the background. She had selected pieces specifically designed to appeal to Tellurian hearing. Their species was known to be deeply moved by certain sound patterns. Nera's eyes had grown damp. "This music, it speaks to something deep within me. Did your kind create this?" "Yes," Diane said. "Music is important to humans, like art is to Tellurians." Vesh had been studying the data crystal. "The knowledge patterns here match other precursor artifacts I have examined. This is genuine." The crystalline being looked up. "The Acridians have deceived us. They claim to honor the precursors while hiding their true message." Ryan leaned forward. "We don't want to destroy the conclave. We want to join it as equals, to share knowledge and culture. The Acridians will never allow it," the male Tellurian said grimly. "Not all conclave members follow the Acridians blindly," Nora pointed out. "The Tellurians have long questioned their leadership. The Mirakai value knowledge above politics. Even the Zinthari have remained neutral in many disputes." Jack smiled. "Then perhaps it's time for the conclave to hear a different voice." Their meeting continued for hours. Plans were made, information shared. The Tellurians revealed that several conclave worlds had been watching human colonies with interest, impressed by how quickly they developed and how adaptable human settlements were to different environments. As they prepared to leave, Vesh approached Jack privately. "There is something you should know. The Acridians have been building up forces near your colonies. They call it a research fleet, but its weapons are not for research." "They plan to attack?" Jack asked, alarmed. "They plan to contain what they fear," Vesh replied. "They fear you because they cannot predict you. In all their history, they have never encountered a species that changes as rapidly as humans." Back on their ship, Ryan looked troubled. "If the Acridians attack, we'll have to fight back." "Yes," Jack agreed. "But how we fight will show the conclave who humans truly are." Unknown to them, on a distant Acridian command ship, Supreme Commander Izugur was already giving orders to launch what he called a preventative operation against the human colonies. The Europa colony was gone. 3,000 human settlers, their homes, and their dreams, all destroyed in a single night by Acridian warships. The attack had been quick and without warning. In the Earth Alliance Command Center, Director Samantha Bell watched the incoming reports with a heavy heart. On the main screen, Supreme Commander Izugur of the Acridians was broadcasting a message across all channels. This preventative operation was necessary to contain the human threat. The insect-like alien declared, "Return to your home planet and remain there. Any further expansion will result in similar consequences." Eric Daniels, now promoted to Fleet Admiral, stood beside Samantha. "Mars Colony is next in their path. We have 5 defense ships there, but they're no match for an Acridian battle fleet. What about the technology from the precursor archive? Samantha asked. Our scientists have adapted some of it, Eric replied. But we focused on defensive systems, not weapons. We never expected them to attack without provocation. Samantha nodded. Deploy everything we have to Mars, and send a message to the Voxari. It's time to show the Conclave who we really are. 3 days later, the Acridian fleet approached Mars. 12 massive warships against 5 smaller human vessels. On the bridge of the defense ship Defiant Admiral Greg Watson received an urgent message from Earth. He smiled as he read it. Load the new defense systems, he ordered, and prepare to capture, not destroy. The Acridian ships opened fire. Their energy weapons should have torn through the human ships in seconds. Instead, a strange field appeared around each human vessel, absorbing the attacks. What is this? Demanded Hazagor from his command ship. Increase power. The Acridians fired again, with the same result. The human ships weren't even trying to shoot back. Then, one by one, the human vessels moved into position around the Acridian fleet. Small devices launched from each ship, attaching to the hulls of the enemy vessels. Our engines are failing, reported an Acridian officer. Weapons systems shutting down. Within minutes, the entire Acridian battle fleet hung powerless in space. Admiral Watson opened a channel to Hazagor's ship. Supreme Commander, your vessels are disabled, not destroyed. We could have annihilated your fleet, but that's not how humans fight. Impossible, Hazagor replied, his voice filled with rage. Your primitive species cannot defeat Acridian technology. We didn't develop weapons from the precursor archive, Watson explained calmly. We developed shields and neutralizing technology. Technology the precursors intended for peace, not war. Human boarding teams entered the Acridian ships. They secured the crews but treated them with respect, providing food, water, and medical care to the injured. An Acridian prisoner looked up at the human soldier who offered him water. Why do you help us? We destroyed your colony. Because that's what humans do, the soldier replied. We fight when we must, but we don't lose our humanity in the process. News of the battle spread quickly through the galaxy. On 3 conclave worlds, public demonstrations broke out demanding an emergency council session. The Tellurians and Marikai formally announced they were reconsidering their alliance with the Acridians. In a private meeting room on Earth, Samantha met with representatives from the Voxari, Tellurians, and Marikai. The Acridians have ruled through fear for too long, said Nara, the Tellurian ambassador. Your people had every right to destroy their fleet after what they did to your colony. Your restraint has impressed many species. Revenge isn't our goal, Samantha replied. Recognition is. We want the galaxy to see humans as we truly are. Vesh, the Marikai representative, placed a crystal on the table. This contains proof that the Acridians have suppressed precursor knowledge for centuries. We request that your Captain Wright and Dr. Martinez present this evidence at the emergency conclave session. The Acridians will try to silence them, warned Zik, the Voxari leader. Samantha smiled. They can try, but they'll find that humans are very hard to silence. The great conclave chamber had never been so crowded. Representatives from all 7 member species sat in their designated areas, but today the observation rings were filled with visitors from dozens of non-member worlds. News of the human-Acridian conflict had spread across the galaxy. Captain Alex Wright and Dr. Olivia Martinez stood in the center of the chamber. It was the same spot where, months ago, they had been dismissed as primitives. Now, all eyes were on them. The conclave has been deceived. Alex began, his voice strong and clear. For centuries, the Acridians have hidden the truth about precursor knowledge and manipulated this body for their own power. From the Acridian platform, Acting Commander Dizrol rose. With Hazagor still detained by humans, he now led their delegation. These humans destroy our battle fleet. They hold our warriors prisoner. And now they spread lies to divide the conclave. Olivia stepped forward. We did not destroy your fleet. We disabled it with technology, the precursors intended for peaceful purposes. Your warriors are not prisoners, but guests who will be returned safely once this matter is resolved. Murmurs spread through the chamber. The Tellurian representatives stood as one. The Tellurian Union officially recognizes humanity and withdraws from the conclave until this matter is resolved, announced their leader. We can no longer support an alliance built on deception. Moments later, the Marikai made the same declaration. Then, to everyone's surprise, the Zintheri, who had remained neutral in most galactic matters, also stood. The Zintheri Collective has observed the humans closely, their speaker said. They adapt and grow faster than any species we have studied. They could have destroyed their enemies but chose mercy instead. We too recognize humanity. The chamber erupted in chaos. 3 of the 7 founding species had just broken away from the conclave. Alex held up a small device. We have proof of the Acridian deception. He activated it, projecting images of ancient precursor records. These were hidden in an archive that only humans could access because the precursors predicted our arrival. The images showed Acridian ships seizing technology from other species. Documents revealed how they had suppressed precursor teachings about cooperation and evolution in favor of stagnation and control. For 1,000 years, Olivia continued, the Acridians have claimed technological advancements that they stole from others. They have hidden the full message of the precursors because it threatened their power. Disrael's mandibles clicked in fury. Lies. Humans create false records. They cannot be trusted. Alex turned to the Acridian leader. If we're lying, then why did your forces attack peaceful human colonies? Why did you try to destroy the evidence we found? The humans are dangerous, Disrael insisted. They spread too quickly. They change too fast. They must be contained. You fear us because you cannot control us, Olivia said quietly. But change is not something to fear. It is how life grows. Suddenly, Disrael pulled out a weapon. Enough human deception, he shouted, aiming at Alex. Before anyone could react, Alex stepped toward the Acridian, empty hands raised. Go ahead, he said calmly. Show everyone the truth about who fears whom. The chamber fell silent. Disrael's weapon trembled in his hands. Then, slowly, he lowered it. From the back of the chamber, Vesh of the Marikai spoke. The Acridian reaction proves the humans' claims. They resort to violence when faced with truth. The old conclave is dead, announced the Tellurian leader. Its foundation was built on lies. It is time for something new. As Alex and Olivia left the chamber, representatives from a dozen worlds approached them, eager to establish relations with Earth. The Acridians stood alone on their platform, watching as their 1,000-year dominance crumbled in a single day. Did we just break the most powerful alliance in the galaxy? Olivia whispered to Alex. No, he replied. We just helped build a better one.